Hey, we are here with Death unto Madness. We're here for another episode. Episode 17. We got the gang here. Maria's still out. Oh man, I meant to message her and ask her about like the stuff that happened last time, just to make sure she was still aware of everything and like could put input in. But oh well. I know roughly at this point how Maria would act. Though she does often surprise me. But I feel like I could give an approximation of Ophelia's weirdness on a moment's notice. So we're here, and let's go ahead and jump into some beliefs and instincts and traits. Give a breakdown from each of the characters. Chad, who's Alpheus? What are his beliefs, instincts, and traits?
I want to make sure that Sinian citizens are protected and well taken care of. Therefore, I will search diligently for a solution to the city's starvation problem. And I hate the Jagati, and Caruzia is in danger. I will find a way to defeat them and strengthen our armies.
So I know that you completed that second one last time. Like the second part of it, at least. I will find a way to defeat them and strengthen our armies. You did find a way. Now it's just a matter of doing it, right?
So can I change it to I will defeat them?
I mean, that's, you want to break it down even further into a smaller piece. So as when we left off the characters, I think it was you were going to go to Kyrides and try to convince one of those retired generals of the Kyrides to like come work for you guys. So maybe honestly it should be maybe like secure passage to Kyrides or something like that.
For my beliefs?
Yeah, for the second part of that.
So I can leave the first part the same. And then for the second part, I can say... I
mean, it could be that, or it could be like...
What did I say? Like, I hate the Jagati and Caruzia is in danger. Therefore, I don't know what to write.
I know that's it really depends on what Alpheus thinks the next step to that is, because obviously he's going to go to Kyrides, but it depends on, like, are you going to go to I think we talked about, you could go to the Kyrides quarter and just drudge up information about Kyrides right now. You could just go on a ship and head over there.
No, I would go to the Kyrides local first, because it seems quicker.
So maybe I hate the Jagati and Caruzia is in danger, therefore I will drudge up information in the Kyrides quarter. Maybe I will drudge up helpful information in the Kyrides quarter. That seems like a good second part there.
Yeah, it's up right
now. Cool. And then this first one, therefore I will search diligently for a solution to the city's starvation problem. Didn't we kind of already deal with that too? Wasn't the plan like we're gonna get all the outskirt town people into the city, like behind the hills?
I think isn't that like that's like we still need to do it, but that's the plan. Like pending whatever if we find someone who can help us,
right? So I think you might honestly just want to replace that belief entirely for now, because it sounds like that's something like you figured out a tentative. Well, I guess the actual starvation problem itself you haven't.
Right, because they're still starving.
But I guess the point would be, in theory, everything is about destroying the Jagati. Like that's, I guess, the take you guys, or the plan you guys have made. I think, right? Like, yeah. We just gotta like get everybody behind the Precration Hills, I think it was, and then hire an army, get a Kyrides general to lead them, and then.
So can I make this about like? Wasn't I convinced to help Maya's son?
Yeah,
like become the king.
Mm-hmm.
So can I have a belief about that?
Yes. The issue I'm seeing right now with Alpheus is it sounds like he has one thing that he's doing, and that is go hire this general. And so I don't know how much time you're gonna have to work on anything else. So either you should make 3 beliefs that all have to do with that thing, or we can talk about whether or not there's something else you want to accomplish.
I'll just leave just the second one.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can fill it in during play too if we find something that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, so instincts.
I always try to talk my way out of trouble. I always treat others of the lower classes with respect, and I always ensure that those I trust are lifted up.
Cool. And then traits.
Strong-willed, cramped hands, pragmatic, intellectual, competitive, impulsive, broken in, and driven.
Very nice. Very nice. Cyrillus, our resident crusty boy.
Let
What you got?
me mute my phone. Okay. Come on. Let's load. Are we here? Yes, we are. Okay. Cool. My beliefs. Ophelia's side is the way to survival. I will follow her lead. I have been given strange new abilities, and I'll discover their true potential. I'll increase my skill with enchanting. And
Very
then
nice.
my instincts, always be armed. If someone I'm with refuses a drink, then I will chide them about it. Always be suspicious of everyone. And then my traits, veneer of obedience, drunk, religious, competitive, speaker of the secret language, unlucky, diseased, lame, iron stomach, sea legs, forked tongue.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool stuff. Maya?
Okay, so I'll do whatever it takes to elevate my son to a place of power. I will make my position in the kingdom known to the public. My time with my sisters was stolen from me. I will meet Avra and gain her favor.
Nice.
And then I think I'm going to change my third belief, or just like I'll keep it, but like I'm not going to focus on it this time.
Oh,
I can do that, right?
Yeah, you can just kind of like have it in the back burner and then
right.
slot in something else. Yeah.
I just feel like I'm not going to get any like Artha or like anything for this belief. And so I'm just like, it's a belief of mine, but am I going to like focus on it? So this one is the art of the theater must be maintained and not forgotten. I will find help creating a play.
Cool.
And then my instincts are, if someone insults my son, I snap back at them. Never back down from a challenge. If I meet a fellow performer, I will give them my assistance. Traits: colorful, religious, intellectual, competitive, thick skin, marked of privilege, bastard, and glib.
Sweet. Good stuff. All right. And then Avra, last but not least.
Can you read mine?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I can't see them.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out a laptop situation. Laptops were not working for some reason. So, so Avra has, I believe Caledon will be a good king. I will find a way to support his cause under Ophelia's rule. You still want that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an idea of what you want that to be? Like, what's the way? How do you want to approach trying to find a way to support his cause, you think?
That's a good question.
See. Well, I mean, Caledon right now. Oh, I mean, you could just go with Caledon to where he's going if you wanted to, or you could stay here. That's really the question, I think, before Avra. Is Avra going to stay here and do stuff here and focus on that for now?
I feel like she wouldn't want to go away from the city.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, honestly, that's probably going to be a moot belief for now. Because he's just not going to be in town. I think I think didn't Malekith say like you have the farthest to go, you should like get on it like right away, and so I think he's going to do that. So here, let me just put this in this extra slot here, so you're not working on it right now. The one belief you do have, I believe my father was ill by someone else's doing. I will get answers with Caledon and Ophelia's aid. Yeah, we could do that this time. We could focus on that. Any other stuff you think Avra would be caring about?
Are those the only beliefs that I have on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I left the last one blank because I wasn't sure yet.
Yeah. Because Avra solved her money problems for now. But there might be something else.
I mean, there could be something if I meet her this session, maybe.
That's true.
Right. Avra doesn't really have many things at the moment.
Yeah, so I guess I'm fine. This is a little bit, as we're getting into the season, there's some transition happening here. We can just leave it blank for now. And then by the end of the session, we'll try to have filled those in.
Yeah.
with things that make sense. Avra's instincts are: if I have a coughing fit, then I leave the room. I always have my falconry factory. I always have my factory gloves on hand. No. Avra is not Rosie the Riveter. I always have my falconry gloves on hand. If someone speaks ill of Celadon, I will speak well of him in contrast. Traits: your grace, formalist, religious, competitive, careful, birdie talk, mark of privilege, and driven.
I always forget I can talk to birds.
Yes. You literally have the pseudo-magical ability to talk to birds.
Yep.
You can do that. All right, cool. So, where do we want to start? Let's have a conversation about this. Alpheus, you're gonna go into the Coyotes quarter. Maya, what would be the first thing you'd want to do?
The first thing I do, I think, is I have like an order of reparations. I need to find somebody to write the play for me. Right, because I'm not necessarily going to be able to do that. I can help with it.
Do not have the playwright skill, no.
No, I do not. So I need to find a playwright. Then I need to find somebody to financially back this up and like present it like to the nobles as like, hey, we're doing this thing, support it, kind of a thing. And then
you want to meet with Avra?
Then I want to meet with Avra.
Okay,
so
sounds
that's
good.
kind of my order of operations.
Avra, the main thing you want to do is look more into your father's illness. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right.
Forgot who I was for a second.
And then Cyrillus, what do you want to do? Like what's I think I might have just zoned out when you read your beliefs. You want to follow Ophelia's lead and increase your stealth and
basically my stuff is just either follow Ophelia or try to increase enchanting.
Okay.
And I don't think I have any other clear goals than that right now.
Sounds good. I have something that I want to bring up with you. That's going to be this will probably give you another belief, I think, by the end of this. So I think this is what we start with. I think we start with opening. After we get the opening credits, we get a short scene, and we see Sinia at night. We're in like a worse off part of the city. There's maybe like some rowdy sailors coming out of a bar, and we see maybe we're following this gang of sailors, and we see a prostitute proposition them, and some of the guys are jostling each other like, oh yeah, look at her, like, hey, you should go get her, sort of thing, to one of the guys, and then they pass on. Nothing really happens there. They continue walking down the street, and then I think one of the guys turns into an alley and says like, I gotta go pee, and then he just turns into this alley and like starts to loosen his belt, and then we see him just like see something out of the corner of his eye, and we hear a scream, and we get a wide shot of Sinia, and we see Death and the Madness come up on the screen, the text, the logo. And I think the first thing I want to start with, let's start with Cyrillus. So Cyrillus, where are you the next? No, Cyrillus, you wake up in the middle of the night.
Okay.
You aren't sure what triggered that. You just suddenly get like an off feeling. Where does Cyrillus sleep? What's the environment we get here?
I assume that I probably have a nice room in the castle, but it's probably gotten not nice since I've been in there. Because I feel like Cyrillus is someone that just wouldn't really take care of cleaning and stuff very well. So
just various personal effects thrown around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bandages just all over the place.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Cool. So yeah, you wake up in the middle of the night. Is this the sort of thing? Does Cyrillus sleep with his spear right next to him?
Probably.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. Sounds good. So we see Cyrillus maybe instinctively grab for a spear. And then suddenly something's just off. Like you literally don't know what woke you up. You look around, you don't see anything in the immediate. What would you do?
I would probably get up, maybe poke around the room, and then maybe look outside. I probably have a window. I'm gonna look outside the window, or maybe, and then look outside my door.
Yeah, let's have you make an observation check, I think.
Cool.
I think there's something you might be able to see. I think you're learning that. I don't think you have it.
Yes, I believe
Yes, you're
so.
currently learning. You need to make 5 more tests before you'll advance with that. But yeah, go ahead and make an observation test for me. I'm gonna make a roll that will have no meaning whatsoever. Don't worry about it at all.
Do I get any help? I assume I don't.
No, yeah, there's no one in the room to help you here.
Okay.
You are all alone.
What?
Ob is gonna be whatever I roll here, which I am
Perfect.
quickly pulling up. Here we go, perfect. Oh dang, it's gonna be a 4 for you, Cyrillus, which means it's gonna
That might be
automatically
an
double to
8.
8. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not happening.
Yeah, so put in 4, but we'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, you can mark a challenging what is it? Perception test, which you didn't need, unfortunately. You needed a difficult perception test to advance this. So
do I mark
to
a
advance
thing
perception.
on the
Don't even bother.
observation?
It doesn't help. You can if you want to, but yeah, it doesn't matter because you only needed 1 before you advance it. So
Okay.
but yeah, so yeah, just as a reminder for being learned stuff, if you get a difficult or challenging, it goes on the stat it's associated with. If you get a routine, it's a bubble that counts towards learning the skill itself. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how that works. Which would in theory help you learn observation if you upgraded your perception, because then it would take less tests for you to open it. So it all in some way helps you get the skill. But anyway, so we see like a honestly horror scene, like a horror movie scenario, right? Cyrillus he looks out his window and we see some shadowy thing like literally climbing up the wall and like next to him, but he doesn't see it, and like he's looked one way and it's on the other side and we see it as the audience, and then he turns and it's gone, right? Like the way the shots are framed, it's just like he looks and it's not there anymore and we don't know where it went, and he's just like, something's weird here, and he like goes over to his door, opens it up, we see whatever it is, the shadowy figure like slip inside his chambers and he doesn't notice, and then he like closes the door and you're just like, what is going on? What would be the next thing you do after you like check those places? What are you attempting to do when you get the jump scare?
I think I'm probably just like standing at attention, just like with my spear, like, what's going on?
Right, you just like, okay, I'm gonna stand in the middle of the room for a second here and just like wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to cough. And of course, that's the moment. I think there's maybe like a pillar, at least one pillar in this like chamber, because you have like a lavish, palace chamber. And from behind this pillar, I think when the shot is framed, we see you looking at the room, and you're turned away from this pillar, and then this shadowy figure slips from behind the pillar, and then lunges at your back, and you turn just in time to see Hector's face, your cousin. But like his like eyes are bleeding, and it looks like his jaw's like distended, and his fingernails have been like enlarged and are now like claws almost, and he is literally just attacking you. It looks like he's gonna try to rip your throat out with his huge claws. I assume you fight, right?
Well, yeah, he died, right? Just making sure I remember.
Yeah. He died.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I guess I would just like slash at it. I'm fighting.
Yeah.
For my life.
Yeah, and I think he'll get a bonus die for his successful stealth against you. But yeah, it's just a fight at this point. So go ahead and look at your I assume rolling spear, and then you can look and see if you have any forks there. And then I'll grab his stuff.
Fork and brawling. I assume that's it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't roll the extra die that he was supposed to.
You're okay.
No extra successes though. So 3 is the ob you have to beat.
Okay, and I can fork him brawling, but that's like the only
Yes,
thing?
that
Okay.
seems correct. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So ob 3.
perfect.
And your intent?
Of
Oh,
course.
What was your
course.
intent exactly, Cyrillus?
My intent was to, so he was like jumping at me, so my intent was just to like kind of like smack through him, like slash through him as he's jumping at me.
Like spear him in the chest or everything, like as he's.
Like a slash. Yeah, just like a slash across. Kind of like slash him but hit him away, if that makes sense.
Right. So just keep him at bay.
Okay.
Is your main thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you fail to do that unless you want to. You did get a 6, so you could spend 1 or 2 fate and roll 1 or 2 dice.
Might as well.
Which one of those you want to do? You have 11 fate to work with, so you could roll 2 if
2.
you want to do. Yeah. Okay.
2. I'm about to die. Wait,
Yes.
remaining ob is what's my remaining ob?
1. Yeah.
1.
You have a pretty good chance of getting this.
Okay.
But knowing Cyrillus is luck.
Dice 2.
Yeah, dice 2.
Cool. Please.
There
Okay.
you go. That's all I needed. Oh, ooh, man.
Oh, wow.
Both of those were actually 6s if you hover over it, and then but you didn't roll any more successes. So that was pretty nice. Nice.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So we see Cyrillus do this, right? Like your Hector, whatever monstrosity he has become, lunges at you. Looks like he's going for your throat. You like, grab your spear and like slash across and just like push him. And then he collapses, like he rolls and comes like right next to the window at this point. And he's like almost growling at you, and then facing you, like the moon behind. Oh, wait, it's not night. It's never nighttime in Sinia. I just remember
That's right.
that.
It's never night.
I still forget that sometimes. Yeah. So, twilight, it's
Uh-huh.
always twilight, more or less. But
Right.
you were sleeping.
Cyrillus can afford blackout curtains.
Honestly, Cyrillus probably does have blackout curtains. That's actually almost entirely accurate,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, exactly. So it is dark in here. I think that makes sense. But yeah, we can say that the side of the palace that his room is on too probably is like faced against the sun. So it was dark on that side of the on side of the building. Yes. So so anyways, he's framed by the, because I think the curtain, he probably like rips the curtains down and in his struggle to like stand up, and so he's framed by like whatever light is coming from outside the window. And yeah, you see him for what he is. It's Hector. He's standing there. It looks like he's wearing the same stuff that he had before when he died. You see this like an arrow sticking out of the same wound. His like claw, his fingernails have become like long claws, and his eyes are bleeding, and he has like his jaws like broken, and yeah. What do you do?
I think Cyrillus would probably spew some profanities at what the heck he's looking at,
Yeah.
and then attempt to cut off his head.
So keep in mind, you have a spear. There's not a whole lot of like cutting or slashing that's happening with spears.
I stab him in the head.
Yeah, basically just want to stab him in like down the throat or whatever. Yeah, like just in or through the eye, something that would be fatal.
Right.
Sounds good. All right, sounds good. So Cyrillus like rushes over to go for the kill, and obviously, Hector is going to attempt to defend himself, and I think his intent is going to be to keep you at bay and not die, but then score a wound on you.
Okay.
So then he's gonna roll here, and he gets 2. So 2's your up.
Okay.
Did you throw those fate that you spent on spear in the little bubble next to spear?
Do what?
Did you put the fate that you spent in that little bubble next to spear? Yet?
No.
Okay, I just making sure.
The fate.
Yeah. So yeah, keep in mind whenever you spend fate on something, you can also put it like list it next to the skill you spent it on, so you can keep track of that and possibly gain extra things later
Where
on.
do I do that?
Right next to where it says the F, P, and D bubbles next to it, in that where it would be F, there's 4 listed right now, and make that a 6. Next to your spear skill.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah.
'Kay.
Cool. Oh no, that's your actual stat with it. It was the bubble over.
Oh.
I just did it. There you go.
Oh.
You see that now? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you spend enough fate, persona, and deeds in any particular thing, you get cool bonuses and stuff. So,
Okay.
yeah, it takes a while to get there. So,
Mhm.
cool stuff. Yeah. So Cyrillus. Oh, did you just roll? Oh, you got a 1. That's not good.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Are we
spend another
surprised?
fate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only spend 1 because you
do.
didn't get any 6s. But yeah, you can do that if you want.
Mm-hmm. What's the remaining op?
Just 1, yeah. So you have a 50-50 chance.
Okay.
Oh no, Cyrillus. Okay, so you go for the kill. Honestly, I think what happens, I think this is the most interesting thing to happen. You fail, and so not only do you miss completely, and he like, sidesteps your attack and then brings down his claws on your side, so that you have you rips through your clothing and just I think you get a well, what I think we'll do light wound, so it's not gonna be too crazy. But yeah, you get a light wound from that, which you'll need to get treated at some point, or at least just make a health test to recover from at some point. But what happens in addition is, obviously he was right next to the window and you charged him. You just barrel right out the window, and now you're about to fall to your death. What do? Do you just try to grab on the ledge? What do you attempt to do in that situation? Yeah,
That's exactly what I do.
sounds good. Yeah, so you just try to grab on the ledge. Go ahead and roll. I think it would just be a power test, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just
So I just okay.
yeah, just power and stat.
Do I get any?
I don't think so. No.
Nope.
Yeah. No. Again, you're
Okay.
all alone here. The thing with Cyrillus right now, right, is he's a loner. He keeps people at arm's bay. He's diseased. So yeah. But yeah. So go ahead and roll a power test to do this. I think Ob 2.
Okay. I think I did that right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even with your wounds.
Okay.
Sam in chat says it's going to be sad to see him go. Sorry, Cyrillus, this is where you die. Yeah. So, but you catch yourself, right? So we see Cyrillus just trip out the window, and then honestly, I think maybe what you do, Cyrillus, is you grab your spear and frame it against the window, and so you're literally hanging onto your spear, and it's either side of it is against the window frame, and so you're hanging from your spear itself. And then we see, as you're struggling to pull yourself up, we see Hector come over to the window, and he leans out.
Of course.
And he's facing you. What do we see from Cyrillus? What do you do? While he's coming up to you.
Well, I can't let go, or else I will die.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-story drop from here.
So I guess I attempt I'd probably do something stupid and be like, what's that over there? And try to distract him to get up, but I already know that it wouldn't. But I feel like that's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's take a look at your skills and stuff here. You just try to talk to him, I guess, and use intimidation or command, maybe. Let me. Yeah, I mean, you don't even know what he is at this point. So it's really, I guess it just
Right.
depends on what you think would actually do something.
I guess command. I'd be like, I don't know.
Hector, I am your commanding officer. I command you to stop this at once.
Like I'm grasping at straws, just trying to stay alive.
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, I think command
Borderline
is
insane.
like, given what I know of what Hector is right now, I don't think you could just like tell him like, you work for me, like stop this at once and like help me up. But you could definitely use command to like distract him long enough that you could get up. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. I think you can fork an intimidation.
Cool.
Your ob is gonna be 3. Oh man, it is just not Cyrillus's lifetime, as we've said before. So you did get a
When
6.
is it?
Yeah, exactly. You did get a 6, so you could spend 1 or 2 fate to try to save this.
2, 'cause I'm fighting for my life.
Exactly.
What's the remaining ob?
2.
Okay. Nope.
Oh man, Cyrillus. So you say this, you bark at him in order, and like it just is not working. Cyrillus, I mean, what do you do? Where like he's obviously gonna like try to like, I think you see him. He starts to like bring up his hand. It looks like he's just gonna like try to snap the spear in 2 so that you'll fall. What do you do? Keep in mind that as long as you have a persona point, which you do, you have 2, you won't die.
Right.
Right.
Right. I think I just start screaming.
You
Just start
wanna
yelling.
get someone to help you, basically.
Like, yeah, either get someone to help me or just yell and just hope that it, like, I don't know, makes him be like, I don't know.
The 2 options I
Like,
can
that's
see
a distraction in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think like with your failed command there, unless you want to, I mean, there is no other skill that you can try because you forked in intimidation to like actually succeed on that. I don't think.
Right.
So I
Like,
feel like
there's literally nothing I can do right now.
I feel like your 2 best options here are to yell, but like in the actual attempts to get someone's attention so they'll help you. And I think there are maybe 2 ways you could do that. You could roll a untrained conspicuous test, which you will most likely fail at, or you could try to roll a circles test, which would probably be difficult, but like to basically be like, there happens to be a soldier that was going to come meet me at this time and it's now, help me, you know? But that would also be a difficult test and you might fail it. But neither of them are good options, but it just depends on which one you want to try.
Right. I'm going to do conspicuous because that sounds fun. Just
Sounds
failing at being conspicuous.
Right. No one pays attention to you. Yeah, so go ahead and we'll add that in your list here. I'll go ahead and put that in for you.
Okay.
It's based on will, which you're better at than perception, so at least there's that. Yeah, so go ahead and roll that being learned skill on the bottom there, and let's take a look at conspicuous obs, shall we?
Here's what I don't understand. How does Cyrillus not have conspicuous?
I don't know.
Honestly.
I don't know. He does have a trait that makes him conspicuous, but he's not good at drawing attention to himself, apparently. I don't know. Let's see. Attracting attention to oneself in a crowded room, ob 1. In a busy shop, ob 2. On a busy street, ob 3. You know, let's make it ob 2. I think it's going to be the equivalent of like in a busy shop. Like I don't think there's a whole lot of people around this part. So it's mainly about like proximity more than anything, but I think ob 2 makes sense here.
Okay.
Which you certainly have a possibility of succeeding at, but
do I get any help?
no. Yeah, help would be
Okay.
You either have a skill to fork or there's someone to help you, and there's no one here yet, so.
Okay. Okay, I sent it through. Hello.
It's not
Where
showing up
are
yet.
you? It's deciding.
You just try it again.
Okay. There it goes.
There it is. Wow. 0
That's
successes.
unsurprising.
You've gotten 0 successes several times here. So you can mark a bubble on that being learned there. You're learning conspicuous. But yeah, apparently, like, there's just no. I think literally Cyril is probably realizing in this moment, like, I have pushed away everyone from my life, and there is literally no one who lives in this part of the palace because they don't want to be near me. I've done this to myself. So, yeah, I mean, what do you do at this point? Like, he's right now, he's swinging towards the spear, he's going to crack it. You try anything else like physically in that last moment, or you just take the dive? Honestly, Cyrillus, if you look down, you can maybe you see like a haystack or something like that. Maybe this is like the stables out here or something. If you just launched yourself, you might just be able to, like, if you just don't even let him try to crack the spear, just jump, you might be able to make it. And,
yeah,
like, not
I
be
think
hurt.
at this point, Cyrus would be like, I ain't gonna let that thing kill me.
Yeah.
So he would.
If
just,
I
like,
die, I'm
jump
gonna die.
himself.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
would jump himself.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's have you make a man, what would this even be? Like a landing test? I don't let's have you make a speed test. I think that's what this is. Because
Okay.
speed has to do with your, like, various things with your feet and stuff. Climbing is based on speed, so I think we'll do a speed test here.
Okay.
And let's make the ob 2 as well for that.
Okay.
I assume no help.
Nope.
Okay.
There you go. Whew. I was really worried there for a second. So we see Cyrillus just dive for it, and yeah, I think you literally land in a like a haystack, more or less.
Mhm.
In a cart. Classic movie scene. You just pile into that hay flies everywhere. A groom comes out of the stables and he's like, was someone yelling? And then you, like, pop up from the hay bale. What do you do at this point? I mean, do you, like, run back in the palace to try to get this dude, or what?
Yeah. I think I've run in the palace, but I go to Ophelia and I'm like, girl, I don't know what this is.
Sounds good. So we just see Cyrillus take off, I think. And the groom is just like, sir. And then we cut there, and we'll pick up with Cyrillus later. But let's go to Alpheus. So Alpheus, you were going to the Chirodesan quarter, correct?
Yep.
Do you go to anyone in particular? Like, you know, at least one informant there. You could try to go back to him, or you can just, like, ask around.
I go there, and would I roll circles to find that guy?
I think so. Yeah, that would be circles. Let's take a look at what ob that would be. Let's see. This would be not the same life path as you, but you have city life paths, right? Oh no, I don't think you do. You know, I don't think Alpheus made this roll before. I think he had someone else make it for him. Yeah, the issue here, Alpheus, is that you only have village life paths, right? You don't know anyone in the city. So, like, this is hard for you to, like, actually find someone. So I don't think that guy is from a village, right? So I think really what this is going to be first, I think Alpheus, because unless you take someone with you, I think this is Alpheus making a circles roll to find someone who was part of the village culture and moved here that you know, or, like, could like probably a Sinian person who could be your contact to go into the Kyrides world again. So I think you'd have to do that first.
I mean, have I already left Malekith's house?
Yes. I mean, I assume so, but you could talk to him instead.
Can I ask him if he knew? Because how do I know this guy again? The informant. What did he help me do? I forget.
You were looking for the guy named Titan. I know what it was. You weren't looking for him. You were, you found him as a result of this, but you had reason to believe for one reason or another that Kyrides was involved somehow in the plot against the king, the assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guy had like a religious medallion on him that was like from Kyrides, and so you were asking around about like, does anyone know about a plot against the king in here? Hello.
And it was him?
No, it was the informant led you to Titan, who then tricked you into thinking that he was also looking into the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where this guy is at.
Yeah, and I think, like, honestly, the reason is, I think Alpheus, like, the Kyrides quarter is, like, moved around and stuff. Like, people have changed locations. The market has changed where it is. Everything's been kind of thrown up in chaos because of what Ophelia did. And so I think you maybe go back to the same place where the pomegranate guy was, and he's just not there. And so you'll have to, like, find some other avenue that's, like, more towards your skills to actually find this guy again. But yeah, so you could attempt to make a circles roll to like find someone, like a Sinian person who could help you with this. But otherwise it would just be like wandering around and like yelling at people. Be like, hey, does anyone know?
Can I use reputation to help me?
You can, yes. The only thing with circles is that unless you have a shared setting with someone. So settings would be like village, city, religious, so on and so forth. You can't actually make a circles roll to find them. So for the informant, you just don't have any. You don't know people in the city really. You know people who are town officials, who are from the village who live here. But that's like and yeah, you know a lot of village people. So if there's a person here who's originally from one of those villages, you could know that person, right? You could find that person, and then that. Okay,
I'll just roll to find them.
Yeah, I think that's probably your first step is to at least try to do that. Yeah, so within the same setting, and it's probably going to be lower rank. So I think this is going to be an Ob 4, which is originally impossible for you. But that doesn't mean that you won't find them. It just probably means if you do find them, they won't like you or something. But yeah, so if you want to go to your circles there in attributes.
Can I fork in anything?
Oh, yeah. So reputations and affiliations could help here. If you're literally just going around saying, I am the Queen's advisor, I'm part of the Sinian government.
That's what I'm doing.
So that's going to draw, that's totally fine. You're just going to draw attention to yourself, but
I don't care.
It will help you find someone. Yeah.
Can I fork in town-wise? Or no? Because it's a city.
I don't think for this, no.
Okay, so do I have two things?
You have
2 advantages?
You have 4 actually, because both of your reputation and your affiliation are both 2 dice.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is actually pretty feasible for you.
Base off 1? 4.
Base off 4. Yeah. Wow. Even with that was a bad roll. You got 3 1s on that.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So I mean, you can spend fate if you want, like to. Oh, you only have 1 fate, dude. That's not good.
No, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could spend 1 fate if you wanted to, but
no, that's
it'd be a 1 in 12 chance because you need a 6 and then another success. So. Yeah. So I think what happens here, Alfie, is I think what it makes what the reason I think you do find someone is because you're making it obvious. I'm the Queen's advisor. I'm part of the Sinian government, but you fail, so you obviously find someone who just wants to take advantage of those things and is not going to actually lead you to someone who's going to help you, right? So someone comes up to you, right? And Alpheus doesn't know this, but someone comes up to you and says, "My lord," and they look like a Sinian person. There's probably not a whole lot of like differences between the way Sinian and Kyrides look, but I guess maybe they dress differently. So you can at least recognize more or less that this guy is probably Sinian. And so he steps up to you and says, "My lord, it is good to see you. I I would love to be of assistance here in the Kyrites Quarter for someone like yourself. And this guy, I think, is maybe like light brown hair. I'm thinking bowl cut, right? Kind of weedly, sort of maybe sickly looking individual, wearing like a brown robe, and he like waddles over and he's like, "My lord, I would love to be of assistance to help you find whatever you are looking for in the Kyrites Quarter. I know it's very difficult for people like us to find help with all these reprobates wandering around. Reprobates, rather."
This guy seems like a homeless guy.
I mean, kind of, yes.
So do I have to trust him, or can I be like...
So, I mean, you're not inclined to
Because of my
distrust him immediately, because I think... I mean, the fact that Alpheus would go around just announcing this in the first place shows me that he's at least a little bit naive as to how this all works. So that, yeah.
He's always been like that.
I know, for sure. But I think, like, I don't think at first you would know,
Okay, so I tell him... Oh, so you can help me. Do you have some information you think would be valuable to me?
Oh, well, it really depends on what sort of things you'd be looking for, my lord.
Well, let's just say the queen is trying to find some information on the Kyrites military. Who would I talk to?
Fascinating. Interesting. And we can see in this guy's face, I think, as the audience, that he's gonna like sell this information to someone else too, right? Everything you're telling him here, he's gonna be selling to someone else. Like, that's his whole game plan, I think. But I think he says, military. May I ask specifically what you're looking for? Are you trying to see if Sinia or see if Kyrites is planning an invasion? How dreadful.
No, we have no reason to believe that they would attack us.
Oh,
soon.
no, of course. With so many Kyrites just living in the city, we would never expect something like that, but maybe that's what they want us to think.
How exactly do you know anything about the Kyrites military? Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I live here. It is sometimes very hard to find a proper place of dwelling in the city, given its current state. The Kyrites are cheap, and so one can make a living learning certain tidbits and passing them on to the right individuals.
Fair enough. So here's how you can help me. I need to find... I don't know what I want to... all I want to tell him.
Yeah.
I need to find... I'm looking for someone who used to fight for the Kyrites, and for any type of reason, old age or sickness, no longer does.
Fights for the Kyrites, Lord? So like a retired soldier?
If that's what I was looking for, would you know where to find one?
Well, there are certainly veterans around these parts. Unfortunately, veterans in many militaries end up in the lowest of situations. Nobody wants to deal with them after they've served their usefulness, I'm afraid. You'll actually find many a Sinian veteran in these parts.
I'm trying to think of so how do I just tell him like, hey, here's what I want, or...
Yeah, then you probably make a persuasion test, and I think the failure would be like, if you failed it, it would be like him pretending to lead you on with something and then abandoning you somewhere or something like that, right?
Okay, so I want to roll persuasion and ask him, or I'm going to tell him to...
Yeah, so persuasion is like convincing someone to do something because it's in their own best interest. So this would be like, All right, so I am looking for that kind of person, and if you help me find them, then I can, do this for you. Or
Yeah,
give you
okay.
this
So I
money.
tell him, look, I am interested in the type of man you've just described. And if you help me out, maybe I can help you get out of these, get out of those old dingy robes that you're wearing.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, make that persuasion test.
Where is it? I don't think I can fork in anything. What's the ob?
I think ob 4.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't think you can fork in anything either. Yikes. That was just bad luck there. Yeah, I mean, you have one fate, but still same, 1 in a 12 chance. So yeah, failure here would be like, he says like, of course. And honestly, I think what he would probably do is like lead you into some sort of ambush or something. Like he'd be like, yes, I'll bring you to some veterans who would love to speak with you. And then he brings you to like a dingy, like house filled with Kyrides veterans, but ones that will just beat you up and take your money instead.
I feel like I would be having some people to escort me around the town.
That's fine. That makes sense. You could have a couple soldiers with you.
Okay, but they come with me and I go there.
Sure. Yeah.
And we get ambushed.
Yeah. So we see this like dingy, like multi-family house. Like there's this house that probably like a bunch of people are living in. And we see some like, maybe we see maybe some women, outside of the house, like doing laundry or something. And they eye you as you walk in, and you're getting an off vibe about this, and you have like these 2 soldiers with you, and they're coming up with you and walking up these steps and going inside, and every step of the way this shady dude is just like, yes, of course, just up this way, my lord. I guarantee you the person you're looking to speak with is in this room right over here. And then he just disappears. Like think like Gollum in Shelob's lair. Suddenly you just turn a corner and he's just not there. And then you hear his voice like echoing from part of the house and just be like, I hope that you'll enjoy your stay, Lord. And then suddenly there's a beefy, like disgruntled looking Kyrides veteran who steps in front of you. And then like he's tattooed and stuff. And he looks over and he says, let's see. He says, yes, we can help you out, my lord. And like grabs out a knife.
I'm trying to think of what Alpheus would do. I would try to pull rank and convince him that I could help him so that he wouldn't kill me instead of trying to fight him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna like jump you right away, so you could talk to him for a moment.
So I say, wait. Don't attack me. Please, hold on. and then I say
the soldiers next to you are just like tensing, like grabbing their spears, like, oh crap.
And then I tell him, if you help me, I'll give you anything you want.
Anything, Lord. And then like another guy steps from like behind you guys, right? Like in this hallway, and then says, anything, he said. Oh, anything.
And then I say, well, not anything, but I could make you, I could get you well taken care of. Please just help me out. Please don't kill me.
Oh, I'm sure that we'd love to help you. We can help relieve you, in fact. Relieve you of that coin purse you're carrying.
Well, if you like this coin bag, then you should see all the coins I have at home.
Oh, we'd love to see it, I'm sure. But I think for now, we'll settle with the purse itself.
And then now I'm irritated because I think they're stupid. And I say, how stupid are you? I'm trying to give you money.
Yeah. So what further argument would you give here? Because if you just say like, come back.
Now I'm irritated and I just want to fight him now.
Okay, sounds good. So you're just like, no, these people are
Yeah.
dumb.
I say you're so dumb. And then
You like nod your head to your soldiers or whatever.
yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I assume Alpheus is going to try to fight himself at all.
I mean, I don't think he can.
No, he doesn't have a weapon skill. So
But I think I nod to my soldiers and then I try to run away.
okay, sounds good. Try to book it out of the house.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, I will go ahead and do a bloody versus for this fight here. I think there's 3 veterans against 2 of your against your 2 soldiers. So let's see. They're gonna roll. Let's see. They have spear. They can fork in brawling, knives, and intimidation. So let's see, 3, 7, and 8. Okay. So this is going to be your soldiers. You know what? I'm not going to do a bloody versus. I'm just gonna do 1 roll. That'll be good enough. So this is for your people, and their intent is to what? Like what did you tell them to do?
I
Just
think
like
they're
cover my escape.
they're trying to just give me a chance to get out of there
And then run themselves, basically.
yeah
Okay.
because I don't think we can win a like just regular battle.
No, probably not. Sounds good. So they'll fight long enough for you to for everyone to escape, but you primarily. So they got a 3 altogether, and then I will roll for the thugs. Oh,
Wow.
dang. They got such a high roll there. And they were only rolling 1 more dice. Wow. So yeah, 3 versus a 7. Yeah, so Alpheus, not only did these soldiers just get just flat out murdered, right? Like there was like another guy hiding in the shadows that they didn't even see, and like he's slitting their throats before they're even noticing anything. But also you get caught and don't escape the building. So like a big bald guy with a knife like grabs you by the collar as you like run past in your robe, right? Just like and then yanks you back, and you just like fall onto the ground. The wind gets knocked out of you. Just you hit your back against the wood floor, and you're just looking up at this guy who's sneering at you.
And
Yeah.
I tell him, like, before I've even caught my breath, I say, I'm looking for Titan.
Okay, yeah. You're looking for Titan. Okay, so
Even though I'm not, I'm just telling them that. So they might think I'm like with them, like not an enemy.
The issue is, let's see if you have a skill to pull that off with.
No, I have like being learned falsehood.
Yeah, I think that's what you're doing here. You're just gonna roll being learned falsehood, and we'll see how well that gets you.
It's gonna be horrible.
Your odds gonna be 3.
Can I? No, I can't fork in anything.
You cannot. Yeah, and with being learned, you can't fork in at all normally. So
Base ob 3.
Yep.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, it doubles it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because it's being learned. You can mark a little routine bubble there on being learned falsehood, though. Yeah. Yeah, so you say that, and the guy just laughs at you and then says, like, oh, you'll be seeing Titan, all right. And then he, like, cuts your purse loose, and then I think he just, like puts a booted face in your... puts a booted foot in your face, and you just go black, and you're
I'm knocked out.
Yeah. So I think you're going to take a light wound as well from this, and we'll see. This is not how I expected this going, but here we are. That'll be fun. So yeah, let's go to Avra, shall we? So Avra, you wanted to look into your father's stuff. So last time we got Ophelia trying to make a prayer, like a faith roll for you. And basically told you, yeah, the gods want us to like learn this on our own. They're not helping us out. because she failed the roll. What would be the next avenue you would take? Caledon's getting ready to leave. You've looked into, I think at this point, is it medicinal? You've ruled out it probably wasn't old age. So really at this point you're just looking into magical stuff. I think that's what's left. So who would you go to for that?
It's a very good question.
Like Ophelia has like religious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you could try to get her, you could ask her to do a test for you along those lines, to try to come at it from that angle. Otherwise, I mean, and to be honest, the magic in this setting is usually religiously focused.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just try to make a circles roll or find someone else to like, who would have skills like that.
Yeah, I'll make a circles roll.
Okay, sounds good. So you are looking for what kind of person then?
Probably just someone that I would be passingly familiar with, like someone my father had as part of his council or something that just has, whether it's just like historical knowledge about ideas about magic or actual like practical magical knowledge. I don't know how many people there are like that, but
Yes, you want to try to find a scholar basically.
yeah,
Someone
that would know about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what life paths do you have? Born Noble, Student Falconer, and Herald. Yeah, I think some of those are in Noble Court, right? Yeah. So I think you can have same setting. It's gonna be lower rank because you're the princess.
Yeah.
And you need to have, if this person needs to have specific knowledge. So it's gonna be difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna be an ob 5 circles test to find this person. So go ahead. Oh, I guess you don't have something in front of you.
Nope.
I'll make the roll for you. Circles test. Let's see. You do have affiliations, or yeah, you don't have a reputation, but you have affiliations. So you can use your 2 dice in nobility here. I think that makes sense. So still functionally impossible without Artha at this point. You only have 1 persona, so I'd assume you're not going to want to spend that here.
No.
But you might be able to use Fate and still succeed on it. So we'll see. Okay, yeah. Very close. You have a 6, so you could spend 2 Fate. You right now you have 7. So you have plenty.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and then it's a high. It's like something like a 70% chance or something that you succeed. Cool.
I like those odds.
Yeah, that's not bad. So I will go ahead and put that. You don't need a challenging test, so it doesn't count for anything, but you do spend your fate in it. And we'll do 1 remaining ob, 2 dice. Oh no! 2 1s. You rolled 2 1s with those d6s. That is just too bad. Man. Bad luck here. So let's see. You were trying to find someone who knew about magic. Typically, right, with these sorts of roles, I go for the go-to of like they don't like you or there's something shady about them at some point. I'm trying to think if that makes sense in this scenario. Let me look at my little character sheet list here. Yeah, they wouldn't be the person to go to. What about this guy? He also would not be the person to go to. I'm trying to think of like why you would not find someone like this, right? You have the like all of Ophelia's resources at this point in terms of like social connections and whatnot.
I mean, maybe this might, I don't know if we've established anything that would be contrary to this at this point, but maybe her father just really hated magicians and everything to do with like anything magical that wasn't necessarily linked to his religion.
Probably.
And so he
fair.
just didn't have people around him that would be associated with that.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think the court is just largely absent of scholars like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. So I think Avra, you just like do a search around, you ask around the court, and like just someone like that just doesn't exist. Like you're gonna have to go through Ophelia and her cult to get information here. Yeah. So I mean, would you go to Ophelia yourself, or would you go to like one of her cult members, or what?
Probably just Ophelia, I guess.
Okay, yeah, and I'll have you make a roll against her to and then just gonna like have her be like, yes, of course I'll help you. Well, she probably would though. No, except for she would. With the thing she would tell you when you come to her, she'd be like, no, the gods told us not to enter. Like they're
so
testing
maybe
us.
I would go to one of her cult members.
Yeah,
then, just to be like, well, I don't really trust your gods, but I need this knowledge about magical stuff.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure she gathered her entire cult to do that prayer for you.
Well, then maybe she'd just see if she can wear someone down.
Sure, yeah. I mean, who would you try to go to? Like Althea or Perrin? I mean, Cyrillus. You go to Cyrillus.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what happens here, Avra? So, Avra, you go to see Cyrillus, who is currently running around the palace, trying to get back inside and to run back up to go to his room, which is now inhabited by a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Avra, you go to his door, and I assume you just knock on it?
Yeah.
You don't hear anything. We get a frenzied shot. There's no music in the soundtrack right now. We get a frenzied shot of Cyrillus like running up a flight of stairs, and then we cut back to you, Avra.
I knock again.
And I think you hear a muffled, "Come in."
Can I make some kind of roll as to whether or not I would actually trust the voice?
You can make a...
Or be suspicious at all of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the actual roll is here. I think it's actually Hector making an inconspicuous test.
Okay.
In response to your will.
Right.
He doesn't have that. So we'll see how well this goes. Let's see. What is your will? Your will is 5. Okay, this is going to be functionally impossible.
Great. Love to hear that.
Yeah.
Hear it so often in Burning Wheel.
Yes, we do make a lot of rolls that are just impossible in Burning Wheel, but that's part of the fun. It's just like I have to make this roll, but I know, like given the dice, that it's not going to work. Except for Artha. Artha's always a thing. I don't think Hector has any though. Well, maybe he does. I don't know. All right, here we go. Yeah, so 2 out of 10.
Yikes.
That's good. Yeah, so something's wrong here, Avra. Right, like. No,
right. This
is
roll.
good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was my roll for some reason. Okay.
He's trying to be inconspicuous towards you.
Yeah. Okay.
So you notice like that doesn't sound like Cyrillus's voice. Like Cyrillus is already sound a little gravelly now these days, but like that's not Cyrillus.
I probably just call for a guard. Whoever's nearby.
Yeah, and I think
check it out for me.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So a guard like comes over and says, "Yes, my lady."
I was trying to have a conference with Cyrillus, but it sounds like there's someone that's not him in there, and I don't trust it enough to open the door.
I think he laughs a little bit. He's like, all right, my lady. Like he's just like, fine, all right, yeah. You're just a paranoid noblewoman. Don't worry. I'll be the big strong man. I'll take a look.
Oh, this is gonna go back.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And so he goes over, he opens the door, and of course, like just gets his throat ripped out. Probably, depending on how well this roll goes.
Do I get a steel test?
Probably, yeah. Adam's actually gonna witness horrible violence. So here we go. Savage attack from Hector. Nice. So we got a 3, and then Royal Guard is going to try to fight him off. He probably didn't have his spear out, so I think he just tries to brawl him right?
Ugh.
He didn't like grab a weapon because he's just like, this isn't
Yeah.
gonna be a big issue. I'm just gonna like open the door and it's gonna be fine. It's just gonna be Cyrillus being creepy again. And so he just is like trying to like beat his head, beat Hector's face away from him as he's just trying to rip into him. But I think he can get a bonus dice for a knife because I think at one point during this struggle he can grab that out. But otherwise he's just gonna be rolling his base brawling and fails. And random NPCs like this do not have fate points, so he gets his throat ripped out in front of you.
Yikes.
And he starts to scream and gets cut off as his vocal cords get severed from his body. And he just like crumples to the ground in front of you, just like spurting blood from his neck. And then Hector looks over at you and blood dripping from his claws. What do you do?
I mean, I run.
Okay, sounds good. Avra just books it in her long dress, and her heels probably.
She
or whatever.
probably also, just because I have this as an instinct, she
starts coughing.
no, she probably would at some point in this sequence of events because
Avra probably
would
has some
freak
sort
her
of
out.
like asthma or something like that too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But she probably just, and like as she's running, like as soon as she can get the chance to think about it and do something with her hands while she's running, she just gets her falconry gloves out and puts them on just in case she needs her bird to like go for help or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have Alcos on, I assume, on your shoulder because you always do.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you just send him to beat off the dude? Like, just fend him off?
No,
Not
I don't
yet?
think
Okay.
so. I think she would just.
Yeah, I mean, Alcos is freaking out, right? Like,
Yeah,
his wings are going crazy.
Yeah, I think she'd just probably send him to get Ophelia, honestly.
Okay.
Because she's like, this is clearly not something that, like, the palace guards are gonna be able to deal with on their own, kind of a thing.
Get the witch queen. We need the witch queen for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, honestly, you can just tell him that in birdie talk, and he just like flies down the hallway.
I just make a couple like kind of shaky like whistles with my mouth.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, honestly, make a falconry test first, right? This is, and this will just determine how fast Alcos can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I say that being the one who has to make the roll for you. So let's see, falconry. You're pretty close to getting this, to advancing it. Let's see, falconry. Dispatching a message. Why can I not say that? Dispatching a message. Let's see. You have no applicable forks here.
Great.
Yeah. So you're just rolling your base falconry, which was a 4 against an op 3. So yeah, and failure here is just going to be it takes too long, right?
Yeah.
Apparently that didn't go through for some reason. Oh, wow. Holy moly. You got 3 6s.
Nice.
Dang, nice. Yeah, so 3 on 3. There you go.
I know what I'm doing with my bird, man.
And that was the test you needed to advance your falconry. So congrats.
I'm even better now.
Yeah, your falconry is at a 5.
Now I'm even better.
Yeah, falconry is at a 5, and Alcos takes off down the hallway. And immediately, I think, right, like there's a hallway here, and then I think there's like a staircase, like right near, like down the hallway here. And literally, we just see Alcos fly down this corridor a little bit, and then just immediately spiral upward as he just like goes up the stairs, right? And yeah, Ophelia's going to be here quickly, but Avra, you will still have to make a roll to run from this thing, right?
Okay, this is going to be the one I'm miserable
exactly. So I want to have you make a speed test here.
My only sport is instructing a bird to do things for me.
Exactly. You're still a healthy individual, more or less. Honestly,
I'm
you're
not though.
Well, so that's the thing.
I guess
I don't think you
stat-wise,
have
maybe,
any. I don't think you have any actual traits for your coughing, right? Yeah, you don't have any.
I thought
sick,
I did.
No, you have your grace, formalist, religious, competitive, careful,
Okay,
birdie talk, marker,
interesting.
collision, driven. Yeah, you're not actually an asthmatic, like traits wise. We could always vote that on you if you want to like get fate points for that complicating your life or whatever. But yeah, for now you're actually a very healthy young woman with 4s in all of your like physical stats, so shouldn't be that bad. So you're gonna run away with your speed, but first I'll roll for Hector. Oh man, you only got a 2.
Whew.
All right. You're rolling against an ob 2, and you succeed. Let's see. Tie goes to the defender, which is you in this instance. So
I don't immediately die.
yeah, I think what this means is Avra, you managed to run down the corridor. I think Hector, like, it's not that okay, this is what we see. Avra is just a fit individual as a young woman, and so she just maybe like kicks off her shoes, right, and just
Yes,
like
of course.
books it down the hallway,
Mhm.
and it's like very, very tense. We see Hector gaining on you with every bound, and he is literally just about to reach you, and then Cyrillus, you come around the corner and are now face to face with the monster once more, and Avra like whizzes by you. Cyrillus, what do you do?
She's like, bye, your problem now.
We know Ophelia's gonna be here
I,
soon, though Cyrillus doesn't know that.
Okay. I'm like, you thought you killed me, but you're not that strong. You're dead, I think. And then I like try to stab him in the head again.
So that's the
This
thing.
time,
You don't have a
making
spear anymore.
sure there are no windows.
So Cyrillus, you don't have a spear anymore. Remember?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Doesn't he still have an instinct that he's like always armed?
Always armed, except for the point where his spear was literally jammed in the window, and he had to let go of it to like fall.
Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't fall down with him. Like it was literally jammed to the point where like it was still inside the room, and so when he let it go, it just clanked to the floor. So do you have knives or anything though, Cyrillus? Like
I assume
skill
I
thing?
would because I mean,
Oh yeah, I guess you
feel
would just
like
be
I
rolling.
would
I think the
just
issue
have
is
a
you're just gonna have to roll brawling here.
yeah.
You don't have a knife skill, but yeah, you have brawling. The problem is your brawling is much worse than your spear. Would you? I mean,
Yeah.
Cyrillus, would you have? You know what? I think it's probably fine. You probably passed a soldier at some point. We can just say you grabbed a spear from that guy.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Sounds
there's
great.
no real reason you wouldn't be able to. So you have a new
Okay.
spear. Yeah, you're good.
Cool.
So
Alright,
yeah,
so I'm gonna try to stab him again.
roll your spear. Yeah, I'll roll for him first, so you can get an ob. He's
Okay.
gonna try to chow down on you.
Mm-hmm.
I think he basically completely forgets Avra because he's like, "Yes, you were the one I came to kill anyway." You can see that. You can see in his eyes, like he's like, "Yes, I want to kill you."
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Your ob is a 3.
Okay.
So a rule to keep in mind, Silas, before you roll this, I keep forgetting to point this out. Let me look at your sheet here. You have 2 persona. Persona can be spent to negate 1 dice worth of wound penalty for a scene. Would you like to spend a persona to just negate your wound penalty for the rest of this combat and the ensuing thing here? Otherwise, you're going to get that minus die penalty, which might be the thing that undoes you here.
Probably.
Yeah, you'll still have 1 persona after it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. So that counts as spending a persona on your health. So I'll put that on there for you. And go ahead and roll your spear. You can get that brawling fork and then add another advantage die because you have that wound negation going on. So you can put in 2 for the advantages on that spirit test, I think. Then op 3.
Just waiting on it. Maybe I'll roll it again. Oh, no, there it went. And of course.
Oh, there it is. Oof. Okay. You still have fate, right? You still have fate to work with here. How many do you have? You still have 6. And you got a 6 there, so you could spend 2 if you want, and that's like a 70-ish% chance there of succeeding.
Yeah. What's the remaining ob?
1. Oh, dang. Cyrillus, this is so bad. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, this is Cyrillus getting another wound, right? Like, this dude is just chowing into, like, just, it's bad. And if you had not spent that persona to negate that wound penalty for the scene, you would go unconscious here. But because you did, you're still like gritting your teeth and going on for now. But yeah, he is ripping into your chest with his giant claws, and you're just getting shredded. Like all your bandages are coming undone. Your diseased flesh is now also bleeding and torn. And of course, that's when Ophelia shows up.
I love how persona in this can very much act like pewter in the Mistborn books.
You can, yeah, it can. Yeah, because Artha is like going beyond your limits as a normal person. So this is just like doing it health-wise in this instance and being like, I'm a soldier, I'm gonna get through this. Adrenaline. But Ophelia shows up. And I think we just hear so we see Hector like his head like snaps up, Cyrillus, and you like notice that as you're just like on the ground, like having been ripped into. And we just see Hector like his head snap up, and we see Ophelia at the base of the stairs, just like staring at him, at Hector. And then she just says,
she's peeved.
You will leave my consort alone. And Hector just like stands up and then just starts like stalking towards her. And I'm going to have we'll figure out what Ophelia's going to do here. What does she have to work with? Man, she has so much corruption. I don't know. What do you guys think? There's 3 main options I can see here. She could try to roll like an oratory test to literally like give him a grand speech and like just be like, you will leave now because I am the queen of this realm and you have no authority here. Or would she just go for knives right away because she has a good knives? Or would she try to do faith stuff? What do you think? Given what we know of Maria and how she's played Ophelia.
I assume either knives or faith.
Yeah. Let's do faith first then. So faith. Oh, she has a thing that she's never used. Faith in dead gods lets you hypnotize people.
Oh.
I forgot she's never used it.
Just hypnotize a freaking zombie.
Yes, that's I think what she's gonna try to do here.
That's epic.
Yeah. Let's see. Faith in dead gods. Is this? Yeah, here we go. Ob equals the victim's will. The faithful may channel the siren call of the dead gods through her eyes and speech. Make a faith in dead gods test at an obstacle equal to the victim's will. If successful, the victim hesitates for 2 actions and will obey 1 simple direct command from the faithful. Oh, this requires a few moments of peace alone with the victim. That actually would not qualify here. So instead, we'll have her do normal faith roll of some sort. Where is that? Here we go. All right. What do we think Ophelia would actually do faith-wise, though? She has a 5 faith in dead gods. Oh, she could do... Yeah, she'll do this. She'll do hindrance. When the enemies of the faith rush forward in great mass to overwhelm the faithful, God may raise his hand against them and cause them to stumble, fall, or cower. This prayer momentarily immobilizes its targets. Their limbs become leaden and their muscles flaccid. The effects last for actions equal to half the priest's faith exponent. So yeah, same sort of thing, but like less about like, I am charming you, and more just like, you, in the name of God, in the name of the dead gods, you will stop. And so yeah, she'll roll that at ob 4. And I'll have her go ahead and spend a fate point on her corruption to help herself with corruption. And here we go. Right in the money.
Nice.
Successful. And then I believe that counts as a routine for her corruption. And yeah, so the dude... So Hector just stops and freezes, right, as the power of the dead gods washes over him, and he hesitates for like two actions worth. Cyrillus, you're on the ground, but you have an opportunity here. You can just like try to stab him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a spear test. And I think I think we'll do this. It's going to be similar, I think, to how we've done it in the past with like coup de grace sort of stuff. I'm gonna have him make just a health test. Oh, he doesn't have a health score because he's a zombie. I'm gonna have him make a power test to just remain like, because he's undead. So like I think he's gonna make a power test to like keep his body together through you stabbing him, but if he doesn't, he just dies. So you're gonna make a spear test against this roll. So ob 2. And you can add your brawling in there, I think. You see, you slam your spear into the back of his head. Oh my gosh.
This is really sad.
Oh, sorry. You should have rolled one more dice because you're shrugging off a wound. So go ahead and do. Here, I'll do it for you real quick.
Okay.
Okay. No more successes with that die. So you didn't get any 6s. You could spend 1 fate point to reroll 1 die, which would be a 1 in 12 chance of succeeding.
I would just like to point out he rolled 3 1s.
I know. It's so bad. Cyrillus is so unlucky.
Seth, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, we added unlucky to my character because this is how it's been the entire game.
Yep. So you want to try to spend that fate and go for the long shot or what?
No. No.
Sounds good. So what we see is Cyrillus stabs this guy in the back of the head. It goes through and into his skull. And then Hector just like turns back to you.
Oh, no.
Right? Just not even phased by it. And at that point, I think I feel like you. Yeah, at that point, I think Ophelia's just gonna like and like scream and then just rush over with her knife and just try to like stab him over and over and over again. Go a little insane in this moment.
Got to at some point.
Yep. She will get a penalty for this because she's blind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, she's blind.
she is. Yeah.
I forgot.
Watch her succeed, even with her being blind.
I think she's gonna be rolling. I think she's gonna be rolling against that same thing though, because this is the second moment of hesitation that he has that she's doing this in. All right. So Ob is going to be 3 then because of her blindness, and she gets it right on the money.
Of course.
Yeah. So we just see.
She's
just-
not even here, and she's
I know.
succeeding.
Yep.
Maybe
Ophelia
that's the key to doing good in role playing games is
not be here.
not be in role playing games.
Well, I think that what that says is that I get the good rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just see Ophelia stab this zombie Hector in the face over and over and over and over again until it's a bleeding, just pulpy mess. And then he shudders and then goes limp. And Ophelia looks up at you, blood just covering her. And she just says, "You're welcome." And she reaches over, wipes her knife on your bandages, and then just puts it back in her little belt, and then
Lovely.
walks up the stairs again. And I think when she gets to the stairs, she just says, "Holler if you need me again, Cyrillus." Yeah. So, Cyrillus, you're very wounded. What do you do?
I think I need to go to a medic or something.
Yeah, just go find the surgeon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you're the king consort, or yeah, so you can just go find the royal surgeon or whatever and get him to take care of you. So yeah, we'll let's do this. We'll go ahead and take a break here, and we'll come back and we'll see what Maya's been up to, and then return to Death and Madness. Stick around, we got more Death and Madness to come. Bad things are happening, but Ophelia's a boss, like always.